What up, peeps? It's your girl, Dr. Michael Roll Takes. Well, it's that time, guys, it's reaction time, and this is to Disney's Echo. This will be for episode 5, titled Maya, the final episode for this season. I've enjoyed this show. I know some people think always, a good, 6, 8, episodes kind of like really flush out some characters and all that, especially if you can foresee possibility of a second season. But this one, being introduced to Maya this way, was very effective for me. I enjoyed learning the origins of Choctaw, learning about Lawak, Tuklo, learning about her mother, seeing those particular visions and understanding as each episode went on a little bit more information about the origins of what I was seeing in that first episode, that opener. Understanding what Maya's been through all of her life, the violence, the lies, being raised in something that she didn't ask to be raised into and dealing with certain things, coming around the adults around her as a child. Then, seeing over, not so much, present day, but that bond she had, of course, with Bonnie being kind of, tarnished a little bit due to certain things in regards to, like I said, people making decisions for both of them. Of course, her grandmother Chula, and then understanding situations also with another character, Henry, her uncle, not understanding, he helped her dad when certain things happened with her mom, who was so unfortunate, and then knowing why he does what he does, seeing that, the last episode I'm talking about, why, I'm such and such age and I, single because anytime he gets close, he's afraid that, dealing with Fisk, they would harm. He tried to get out, and you see how he said, he said he would kill him. So it's like he can't really have a real life. He just kind of goes about his business, running a business. Was fish shipping, and of course, what is the skating, bowling, ring. And then just like I said, Bonnie, of course, working, for I think the, fire department and just, living life, but want to, work on that relationship, with Maya. But, certain things, like Maya said, grow apart, but that's not to her, something she wanted, her reaching out, trying to send you emails with her and all that after you lost your father, you ignoring her like she was trying to. So you can't really say it's like, that's you being one-sided. And then you see what happened in the last episode with her and Shula, her feeling, left, behind, she didn't want this because she was kind of taking her anger out on her dad. So she got a little bit of that crosshairs from her treating her dad and not acknowledging it's like your daughter did pass and I understand and you being angry, but that's your grandchild. And I was a little annoyed with that as well. So just to bring it back, full circle, this whole situation with Fisk, him coming up and want to talk to her and inviting her to come back to New York with him to leave, time on. It's just like, you really think she wants to do this? You can't even admit that you are the reason her father is dead. And then I like how she threw in his face how he got some technology. It's like you didn't even want to invest in me to learn how to sign yourself. I was this is this excuses, excuses. You have no problem worrying about certain things, other aspects, with the business and all that, and people you care about. When it came to this, you were lazy. Your ass was lazy. So, did you really think? And I like how the guys came back to him. He's sitting on, on the jet, like, oh no, she already left. Like she has things she's probably doing. So, she still has other things, especially after her, grandfather helped her with her leg and all that. He's like, this is to represent your heritage. You're going back to New York, so, and I like that he kind of said that, and the little joke is like, if I don't like it, I'll just cover it with my leg. I thought it was cute. I like their bond. I liked her bond, of course, with, Biscuit. I just all of it. I loved all of the supporting characters, how they engaged her and, and all that, them speaking to her and all that and dealing with Maya and her feelings about a lot of stuff. And she has a right to have the anger and revenge and all that. But it's like, how much can you do this if you're dealing with, Fisk? Fisk is not going to just, go somewhere. And you see, so she thought, I killed him, I shot him. And it's like, no, sweetie, not that easy. So I'm curious to see in this last and final episode what's going to transpire because now she's kind of put her family in turmoil in danger. He can always just send people. He has fixed shipping down there. So what's going to happen? I'm really am curious how this is all going to play out if she goes back there where he's not. He's going to come and deal with her there, but it's not like he can't send somebody there. He had a person working, who was keeping a little bit of insider, with Henry and his position at his job. So it's like I really hope that we don't lose anybody here because I like all, like I said, the characters. I love all Bonnie, Biscuit, Chula, Henry, please. But I can't, make an assumption that, they're going to listen to me. So with that said, you guys, so let's go ahead and jump into it. I'll say those my thoughts at that, you guys. Sweetie, no. Uh-huh. Yes.
I bought in a sewing machine a few years back, and I was just wondering, maybe
I knew you'd come back for it. I just had to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Tipi sala chiki. Scully.
I'll get the door.
Oh.
Please, let me help.
Oh, thank you.
Oh boy.
People come from all over for our Choctaw Nation powwows.
Is that right? It's American Sign Language. It says I love you.
Oh, I keep it up now for my granddaughter.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about her.
Her name's Maya. She just come in from...
Hey. Hey.
Oh.
Sorry guys, this here is vendor parking actually. Right over there is general parking. But if you're a vendor though, they should have given you a little slit thingy to put up on your dash, because otherwise, if not, then the
You should be wondering what's going on, sweetheart. Like. I go through you.
Keep your eyes out for Maya Lopez. She's heavily armed and dangerous. There's some creepy guy here, and he brought a whole bunch of
holos in, and I don't know, man, they're up to no good, I know it.
About to get dangerous. Do you have a gun or a weapon?
Oh, I got something even better.
Got a feeling. Oh. Uh-huh, there it is. Ooh, oh my God. That's right. I know that's right, Biscuit. Oh my God. That's what I'm talking about. That's right.
Wait, what?
Yes. That's what I'm talking about. There you go, bro. Up in the air. Don't even try to all three of it. Don't do it. Oh. He has to let go of that pain for real.
I am not who you want me to be! What did you just do? What did you do?
Oh boy.
What did you do?
Oh, let me get out of here. All right, you guys, I enjoyed this finale immensely. This shout out to the director. I'm going to say, I think it was Sydney Freeland. I hope I'm saying the name correctly. This one was beautiful. Just to take away from all of the previous episodes, but this one just laying that that foundation with Maya in regards to how all this culminated, us coming together in regards to seeing everything she has been through since she was a child. I like the opening scene with her and her mother, how, because at first I didn't say anything. I was just looking like, why are you using a slingshot to hurt the woodpecker? And then her mother, of course, having to have some choice words for her. And then you see the scene of her healing it. So, and the shock on Maya's face, because clearly you're not aware of, probably that aspect. We did see her, of course, talking to Bonnie when they're in a little tent, talking about, Choctaw. Now, with that being said, that's something that eventually comes back throughout this episode. Of course, noticing, the situation. I said it just a little bit naive, her thinking she could just leave and don't think that Fisk could have his, men. Hence, what I was correct. He had not left. She's about to leave, and then you're getting this little text from Biscuit, like, you seen Bonnie, see this, I haven't seen da da da. Now, mind you, prior to that, you see a little nice little moment with Chula and her granddad. I hate I'm forgetting his name. Excuse me, you guys, for that. But I just love their dynamic, being that they've been through so much together, even though they're not together per se, but that respect, like she comes to find out about something she's, putting together, I'm assuming some garments, with, her something she was utilizing before in regards to making, her stuff. And he actually had it, her sewing machine, excuse me, I'm trying to get the words. And I like how he artistically knew. He just knew, and she just couldn't believe it. That little moment they had, little spark, love it. I love their, this the charisma and all that. I like that, chemistry between the two. So I like the respect when she was like, I'll see you later. I'm just like, okay. But just to bring it back, how we know that day, she runs into Fisk unaware at first, and then she talking about loss and all that, how, you could never, really gabble or get over that and all that. She's like, yeah, I have my granddaughter. Her name is mine. And him looking at her like, he's not aware of who you are. You just don't know who he is. And clearly that became apparent as time goes on, hence how she became, uh, person to use against Maya. But I will say, the scene that really had me all in my feels was the one where she goes looking for them after she gets that text, Biscuit, and comes across her mother. And, she has that moment where she brings her back to the moment where she is, killed. And she's just talking to her about all this anger you need given, and she doesn't know how. And like I said previously, I think at the beginning of this video, just all these things, this anger, this revenge and all that, and I can understand understandably, but just to have that for so long and all that, just chipping away, it's like, you got to release that. And that could be said just with anybody dealing with certain things, and just in real life, and trying to work through them. Some people, it probably will not ever be able to move past that. It's just what it is. You have to want to. That's key. Now, with her talking about her ancestors always being with her, because I want to say, was a we echo through you. And I was curious exactly the name echo, where, you know, what does that name signify? And hearing her say it, I was like, that was just, that whole part was so deep. And just, I got truly emotional watching her explain that to her, and her trying to, understand, and her saying, we can work this, we're here for all of you. You can do this. You can work this. And her seeing the purpose when you see her after her mom eventually, you know, shows, of course, her lover always on. She kind of eventually, disappears. You see what Chula had been working on, in the previous episode, and it's just so beautiful. All the stitchings and all that, and what it signifies, just beautiful. On top of what her grandfather did, in regards to her leg. So I just love all the symbolism behind that, and just everything in regards, like I said, to the legacy, to the origins, of Choctaw. And of course, with Choctaw powwow, all the stuff that was coming through all the episodes of discussion, with Chula. So you see how they show up. I don't like the guy who's his little, little lapdog, his yes man. And I said, please deal with him. I can't stand him. And I love that it came full circle that Henry ended up being the one. But I like how he's like, Biscuit, you got something. He's like, I got something better. And he sure did. Love me some Biscuit. I love me some Biscuit. He was right there. I will say, seeing the scene, at the power we're showing, the moments of the singing and the dancing, and just oh my goodness, it was a lot. And of course, seeing it through Maya's eyes, where you really can hear, she's just kind of seeing everything happening and blending in, and eventually kind of working her way through to kind of figure out where exactly she thinks that Bonnie and Chula could be. And I like how she eventually comes you know face to face with Fisk. Things are said. He's using Bonnie to be his translator because he knew she took the thing out of her eye. But we will say that, this. I was glad it was revealed. Yeah, you killed her father. You sat there both faced, looked at her face all that time, and then you did what you did. And I like how, Chula got to hear it on Bonnie and understanding all that, some of her anger and all that has been happening because they were not around her. This happened in New York. But I like how in the end, Maya handled it. She handled it. Like when she said herself, she was like, tell Bonnie to trust me. And all of a sudden, got into position, and all of her ancestors were right there to the back. I'm getting emotional just saying it because it was such a powerful scene. And then you see how Bonnie's hands, she does have no clue like what was happening. She probably knows, but I don't know to the extent because she looked really kind of like perplexed with what was happening. But Chula knew, and they both, all three of them, handled business. As they said, what's that saying? They stood on business in that moment and handled. And then when Fisk tried it, because we've seen him in other scenes, hints with Daredevil, but in this one, she had upper hand, and she brought him to a moment. And it's like that we remember seeing in the previous episode, talking about his father beating on his mother and all, and how he used that hammer and all that, and hearing to see the bamming on the wall, the breaking, all that, and him, and her, she's like, deal with the pain. Because clearly you've been holding this pain. You see how you see the flashbacks, how he deals with stuff. You didn't like how that man talked to her as a little girl asking for something. He's like, I don't understand you. Just get away. No, I just beat him to a pulp. I'm like, really? You could have just had some choice words, but you use everything with your fists. Everything's about just, that's your way of handling things. He knows no other way. So it's right on, on par for him. But I like her. She's like, hand it to me, like, no. And he's like, no, I'm not like you would know. This is how he would choose to handle stuff. He doesn't want to change. He doesn't want to do it. And then when she finally brings him back, and he's just like, what did you do? Like, scared out of his mind. He couldn't get in that SUV fast enough to roll. Didn't learn nothing clearly, but now you're aware. You can't just do whatever you want to do with her. She can definitely take care of herself. Your men learned it. You learned it. So I'm curious to see as you saw at the ending, I thought she was getting ready to leave, Tom Hobb. It looks like she, made it like a quick little visit, being, Bonnie, Henry, Biscuit, Chula, and all that, and that little embrace. I loved it. And it showed her smiling a little bit, which I was so happy because not normally you really don't see it. She's always just straight serious. Some people, have that little poker face and all that. I'm known for that. So I just love how she had that moment. The people who love her, she loved them and all that. She protected them. But I'm curious moving forward. I really do hope they have another season because I figure she's going back to New York. She wants to get Fisk out the business and take over. Is that anger done? She wants to change certain things being done in New York with him. Will she work with Daredevil? Will we see her in on that show? I'm really curious how this is all going to pan out because she remember now she really thought somebody else had killed her father. Now you know that's not the case. So there's still unfinished business. She doesn't have to have all the anger in her, but she wants that justice. She wants him to really step down as kingpin. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I really pray that we get another season. I so enjoy this. And the actress, she was amazing. Like I said, the whole cast. But yes, just this whole, it was I totally enjoyed this, for the 5 episodes. Very effective. A lot going on. Definitely some backstory, history, progression, with, the characters. So I'm here for all of this. So with that said, you guys, and I said a lot. Comment below. Let me know what you think. And with that said, I will see you on the next reaction. You guys take care.